Item 6, public hearing, amending Butte Properties Comprehensive Plan map. Would you,
This is an amendment to the comprehensive plan. It was started in 2011. Planning Commission approved it and asked the council to approve it, but then we found out that SEPA wasn't done correctly. We had to go back and redo SEPA. The properties have been light industrial use since '95, so they were actually light industrial use before they were actually brought into the city, and so this is just kind of bringing things up to date. Planning Commission, this went to a public hearing at the Planning Commission in February, and it was approved then to go to council to be, it was recommended to the council that it be approved to be amended into light industrial in our comprehensive plan map. This is a Butte Corliss properties, as you might know them as, on Butte, if you have any questions.
I don't remember seeing, was there any public comment made at the public hearing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
but the planning commission?
Yeah, no.
Public hearing. And do you know how it's advertised?
Yep.
A certain distance from the properties, or how does that work? I want to make sure people have enough time to
It's advertised in the paper, and it's advertised here at City Hall, and it's advertised on the property itself.
But there's no mailers that go out?
There's mailers for 300 foot radius.
Okay. Thank you.
any other comments? Well, the way I look at it is that they,
You gotta open the public hearing. We have to ask for comments.
the way I look at it is that, is there any, comments from the public so we can have a public hearing? It's conducted now. This is a public hearing. Do we have any comments from the audience? I take it that we don't. Is there any comments from the council? Okay, the public, as far as I'm concerned, the public hearings have been initiated, and we'll go right ahead with the working with what's her name, Sloan. We'll go right ahead working with Sloan.
I think you have to close the hearing.
Question. So as far as the process, do you need a vote from council tonight to conclude this process prior to submitting to ecology for the GMA review?
Yes.
You do?
You do?
Correct. Yep.
So what does that motion look like? I'm looking here in the recommendation.
Excuse me.
And
What have you got to propose to the council?
Yep.
For a motion?
First, we have to close the public hearing. Point of order, close the public hearing.
There's a recommendation on the cover sheet that says council should direct staff to prepare the amended comp plan map and ordinance by which to adopt the amendment.
Yeah, that's all I need.
So we just need to say, go ahead and do it. Second?
Who seconded it?
Gary moved it, and I seconded.
It's been moved and seconded.
Okay, moved and second.
Council directs staff to create an amended comprehensive plan map and ordinance by which to adopt it. Right?
Okay.
Gary made the motion, so go to him first.
Okay. Jerry, you made the motion. I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Said the staff needs to go ahead and
probably, because of the, FIFA redo, there's probably been, more public hearings on this than, any comp plan change in recent history, and I haven't heard a single comment against it.
That's a good idea.
Thanks a lot. Why don't you just say it's a good idea? Any other council? Comments from the audience?
My name is Howard Gustafson. I'm on the Planning Commission, and in our February 5th meeting, we had a representative there of the people who want this done, and we had an engineer who was hired by the city to give us the information about it. And there were no adverse comments. So I would say that we recommend that you move forward.
Thanks, Robert.
Any other comments?
Did you close the public hearing officially?
Yes. But we're doing public comment on the motion.
I know.
So did I?
That's my comment.
Okay.
My comment was the public hearing closed officially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. She's good.
Any other comments? Okay, Edwin. I'm going to make the motion. It has been moved that the amended comprehensive plan, map, and ordinance be adopted by the council.
The council direct staff, which is great.
And the council direct staff. Roll call, council.
Sam Walker.
Aye.
Tom Jones.
Aye.
Tom Sutton.
Aye.
Aye.
Diane Dyer. Aye. Ralphie Holton.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next on the agenda, 7A, the summary is that this is a coverage that was included in the insurance package provided by our previous carrier, but was not included in the base policy that the new carrier provided. This policy provides for any loss that occurs during the policy period and is discovered within 1 year after the policy period ends. Covered under the loss sustained form also applies to loss that would have been covered by prior policy except for the expiration of the policy discovery period. Recommendation: authorize the purchase of crime, employee dishonesty, insurance coverage from the National Union Fire Insurance Company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Do I hear a motion to move to authorize the purchase of the crime, employee dishonest, insurance coverage from the National Union Fire Insurance Company, Pittsburgh, California. The budget price is $2,311 for the annual premium.
I have a question of staff.
Any other questions?
I'm assuming you reviewed the limits that are shown here. Do you think that these are for the size of our budget and the amount of money that moves in and out of funds that we have control over, and your knowledge of our internal controls and procedures? Do you think that these limits are appropriate given, worst case scenario, I have to ask somebody to run off with cash?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Thank you.
It's only $2,300 for the annual premium.
And there's no contract to sign. That's why there's no resolution, it's just a purchase. But it is outside the adopted budget, so I wanted a motion.
I move we approve the recommendation to purchase employee dishonesty crime insurance policy for $4,311.
Who's second the motion?
I'll second.
It has been moved in second. The chair recognizes the maker of the motion to speak on the issue.
I think it's something that we need to have in a place to cover the city's products and items in case a crime has been determined later on. So it's just a needed item.
The chair recognizes the second to the motion to speak on the issue.
I agree with John. We've had this coverage in the past, and it's one of the holes left with our insurance coverage, so we need to fill it.
I would also say this is a good idea, having had direct experience with this in my daytime life, and a loss that exceeds the policy or the limits within here. It's a good idea to have these policies, and you hope you never need them, but sometimes you do.
I'll second what James said, having had personal experience with this sort of policy in the past before. However, I will be recusing myself from the actual vote on this, as we're actually technically selecting among competing quotes, and I noticed after the last meeting that in fact I'm a shareholder in the parent company of one of the competing quotes, so I will not be voting tonight on this issue.
Unanimous debate by the council. Comments from the audience? I'll restate the motion. The motion for consideration, move to authorize the purchase of prime employee dishonesty insurance coverage from the National Union Fire Insurance Company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for the budget amount of $2,311. Roll call, council.
John Walker.
Aye.
John Jones.
Aye.
Josh Putnam.
Recusing myself.
That's right.
No problem.
James McMahon.
Aye.
Dan Dyer. Aye. Dr. Dolce.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passed. Agenda item 7B, resolution amending city personnel policy regarding maximum accrual of vacation time. Betty?
This is discussed by the finance committee at the workshop, and I attached in your packet page 3 should be a copy of, it's in mine, that I printed. Sorry, here it is.
You knew I was gonna ask, didn't you?
Well, I put it there,
It's not
sorry.
in the packet.
The email from Eddie Shannon says, the union on behalf of the Public Works clerical employees is agreeable to this resolution moving forward as written and presented without change. We reserve our right to challenge this resolution should it become known that the intent of the resolution as expressed is changed or recognized to be detrimental to the members. We defer to Eddie to speak on behalf of the members. And also from Richard Groff, for our conversation, the union on behalf of the uniformed employees is agreeable to this resolution moving forward as written and presented without change. We reserve our right to challenge this resolution should it become known that the intent of the resolution is as expressed is changed or recognized to be detrimental to members. I will defer to Evie to speak on behalf of her members. I got Richard's first. And you can certainly have the copy. I thought it was included.
So I have a question that I'm figuring out what part's
the
Is
new
it just
part.
that sub two at the end that says, or carry forward when documentation is provided showing that essentially if they ask for it and it's denied, that part gets to carry forward? Is that the new part?
The maximum, or, the old language, the maximum accrual was, employees shall be allowed to accumulate vacation hours up to the maximum of twice their allowed vacation earnings per year of service. Vacation hours earned after the maximum shall be forfeited. However, they shall not be forfeited if the accumulation, if the accumulation exceeds the maximum through no fault of the employee. Prior to any action to consider forfeiture of vacation hours in excess of the maximum, the city shall provide 30 days grace period for the employee to potentially utilize vacation hours to reduce their bank to under the maximum. So the change is to allow them to get paid out. The reason it's paid out in increments of 40 hours is so that we don't have to face it every single month if the situation that caused the overaccrual does not resolve itself rapidly.
Is there any other debate?
And does, I believe this also extends the time that they can carry it forward if they're going to use it up.
Yes,
So
there
they've got
was
90 days now to
something
use
so
it
that
up.
they could still carry it forward, because originally, apparently, in the past, they were allowed to extend the period of time. In other words, if they had too much to carry over at the end of the year, they were allowed to carry it into the new year.
Yeah, they had that 30-day window, and now it's extended to a...
And now this
3
extends
months.
it so long as they can use it up. If they're trying to save vacation for a particular reason or something, but they're gonna be scheduled to take a vacation within a 3-month period, then they can go ahead and use it that way. The idea is that we don't wanna have it getting out of hand, because for
Yeah,
reasons they can't control, they don't get to take the vacation that they have coming.
and from the city's point of view, since we're a cash basis city...
I'd rather pay for it.
Yeah, we don't have any accrual to pay for the vacation that hasn't been taken. We recognize it as it hits us, but we don't want to have to suddenly cash out 4 years for somebody who's moving elsewhere.
Well, and and vacation time, I do have to report on the annual report, but it's not, we don't have the liability sitting on the books.
Yeah, we don't have no accrual for it, so it hits us in cash when we pay it.
Do you have any other debate by the council? The chair asks for a motion to approve the adoption of the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Josh and John.
You moved and second. John. Okay. It's allowed below your name, John. It has been moved and second that the council adopt the resolution for amending the city personnel policy regarding the maximum accrual of vacation time. The chair recognizes the maker of the motion.
It's a reasonable accommodation, I believe, for our public employees who simply haven't been able to use enough time to stay within their maximum. We do have occasionally people who are working short-staffed enough that they simply can't take enough vacation time while everybody else does, is available to cover shifts. So it makes no sense to me that we would penalize them for working overtime by then taking away their excess vacation.
The chair recognizes the second to the motion to speak on the issue.
No additional comments.
None. Any debate?
And I'll just make sure that the record reflects that the resolution is resolution number 13-030. Councilor Geyer informed me that the staff report references a different resolution number. But the motion was for 13-030, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other debate by the council? Comments from the audience? It has been moved and second and brought to the council vote for the recommendation to adopt the resolution. Roll call, council.
Ken Walker,
Aye.
John Jones,
Aye.
Josh Brown, James McMahon,
Aye.
Dan Dyer, Dusty Dolson,
Next on the agenda, the motion has been passed. Next on the agenda is 7C, ordinance amending municipal code for business and occupational tax and administrative provision. Do I hear any question from the council?
Staff report?
This is for bringing the specific municipal code in compliance with Washington State model rules and regulations for B&O tax. I'm asking for this to be a first reading so that it'll also have a second reading at the next council meeting, because it's talking about charges and taxation. I believe that 2 readings would be in order. It's available to anybody who wants to see it. I have it in copies, but it's quite long. The main issues are to do with insurance, electronic businesses, and
Software.
another one,
Interest on mortgage loans.
interest on mortgage loans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bringing, the reason the model rules were changed was to bring it in compliance with RCW and changes that had been made since the 2007 model ordinance was originally provided.
Is there any other question, Michael?
Yeah, as I read the text of it, and thank you, having the strike throughs and stuff, that's really helpful. What's the red text mean?
That's new,
Oh.
brand
So what's the
new.
difference between the red and the underline? I'm looking at the second page of Exhibit A. I have red text, and then right underneath it, I have underlined text.
I think that underline was a previous correction that I just didn't ever take away. The director, are you talking
Yeah,
about?
the director.
Yeah, I don't know why it was underlined in the original.
Okay, so just consider it red.
It's not new,
Original.
Oh,
it's original.
okay.
And it was originally underlined for some reason, and I didn't think to reformat that out. I can format it out for next time.
No, I know what it means. Are there any strikeouts in this? I'm not seeing any.
There were strikeouts, no, well, a few of them for grammatics.
Okay. But no
When you added
substantive.
something, there's nothing major that was struck.
I just want to make sure that when I do get a chance to read it, I'm going to understand what I'm looking at. Thank you.
Any other questions?
And if you want the reference for the model ordinance, they're available on AWC's website.
The chair asks for a motion to approve the ordinance,
That's, motion to accept the first reading of the ordinance?
first reading.
Yes. So moved.
Yeah, who seconded the motion?
Second.
As we move in second, the chair recognizes the, Captain.
Taxes are complicated enough without being in compliance with the RCW. We might as well get rid of any conflict.
Say again?
Tax system is complicated enough without being out of compliance with the RCW, so we should go ahead and eliminate any inconsistencies.
Okay, Councilmember John.
Just agree that this is the first reading, and we'll have another reading in a couple of weeks, so that's it.
So I guess I have a question. This may be a little bit outside of the scope of this this is only on the taxation part, or B&O tax code, not on conditions of having a business license in the city?
It is not on conditions of having a business license, but it's also the administrative portion of the B&O tax.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's considerable additional detail on, taxpayer privacy and disclosure, such as the administrative tax.
Is there any debate by the council? None? Comment from the audience? The motion for consideration is to move to accept the first reading of the ordinance number 2013-1844, amending Pacific Municipal Code Chapter 3.02, Business Occupation Tax, and Chapter 3.03, Administrative Provision for Business and Occupation Taxes. Roll call, council.
Ken Wondersen,
Aye.
Ron Jones,
Aye.
Ralph Macchio,
Aye.